So in today's web dev tip, we're going to take a look at a TypeScript feature where we can mix different data types when we're using an array. So we've been using this user class for the last few tutorials, and one thing on here is that we set up a public member property called skills, which is initialized in the constructor, and that's just an array of strings. But what if we had a use case where the actual skills that are being passed in could either be a literal string or it could be a number which represents a code that refers to one of the user's skills. So for example, if we had something like TypeScript and 1, 2, 3, 4. So obviously we're getting an error at the moment because we've told TypeScript that the skills property is only an array of strings and that's the only thing we can put in there. So you might remember the pipe or union operator that we looked at quite a few tutorials ago, and you might be tempted to say, well, it can either be an array of strings or we can pass in an array of numbers. But that doesn't work because we're telling TypeScript that this should either be an array of strings or an array of numbers. So we're getting a TypeScript compilation error, just saying that this type doesn't match what the data is that we're passing in. So the way around that is to use the array keyword in TypeScript. So if this wasn't an array, we could obviously just say that this is either a string or a number. But because it is an array, we need to use this array keyword. And so we just say for skills, this is an array. And then we open up a less than sign and a greater than sign to encapsulate the type that we want the array to be, and you can see that the error now disappears because now we can pass into the skills property an array of either numbers or strings. And of course you can keep going with this and you can put your own complex types in there, your own interfaces if you had a coding system, for example, to pass in those codes for those skills. But just as a simple example, you can see how you can mix different types of data within an array using this array keyword. So that's it for this tutorial. Make sure you stay tuned for more web dev tips.